Yeah, so I woke up like this today. Like for real. I don't know, since probably I was a kid, you know, just always cutting things up and just pasting them together. And it's kind of in a storytelling way too, I guess, when it comes down to it. It's just making a collage and making a story out of it so people understand and get it and can like connect to it, you know? I quit like working when I was like 25 and I'm 35 now. And I just used to just make tons of artwork all the time and sell at the Melrose Flea Market every Sunday, and it would pay for my writing habit. And then like the last few years I haven't had to do it because my writing's been paying for everything, you know? But I'm gonna start going back to do it again this February, try to do it every Sunday until something pops off with my writing again. So I have like 6 boxes of these records, so I've been using them as my canvas, you know what I mean? They would sell these things for $1, you know what I mean? But there's like, who's buying this right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're just all overstock stuff. I did this one, this one, this one, and this one, probably in the last 6 days. I did this one, or I mean my buddy did this one, Ian Turnbull. So, you know, he's over hanging out and I have a bunch of friends that come over and hang out, and then they like to paint. It kind of inspires them to do something while I'm doing it, you know? But I did this one too. In the last 6 days. And then I collect all these like old magazines, whether they be like old Penthouses, you know, or like old Life magazines, old Rolling Stones, like picture books, you know?
Yeah.
And like I collect these like really old National Geographics, you know, books, you know, that I can cut up and fucking paste basically together with like Mod Podge, you know? And then whatever materials else that I can find to make stuff, you know? So I do that. I use paint, I use acrylic paint, I use oil pastels, and spray paint, you know? Like this. And these are all ones that I've made in the last year, you know? So I just have like a huge plethora of stuff that's like almost like you know, they're like my Bitcoins in a way, but even though they're worth way less, you know what I mean? It's basically work to get me to buy more paint, get more canvas, or get whatever, you know what I mean? So I could just keep going and keep making stuff and then keep writing, you know, which I'm doing now, you know?
Is this the book right here?
Yeah. It's a fabricated story of my life. Like the guy kills himself at the end.
Okay.
Like basically it's about the story about this guy who, he's like a failed Hollywood writer. He wrote these shitty B movies for these action hero guys, you know?
Yeah.
And like, he doesn't want to do it anymore, but yet he's really fucked up and he just gets tired of fucking all this shit constantly bad happening to him in LA.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck it, I'm moving to New Orleans to write the best screenplay of all time. And he moves to New Orleans and he meets like a bipolar girl who he's attracted to, like all these bipolar girls all the time. And like she's down there disappearing because I took the story from one of my sister's buddies in Connecticut, who her husband disappeared on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean, and she was on Oprah and everything too, actually, because they thought she did it and everything.
Yeah.
And like she's living in Connecticut as my sister's friend, you know, now, but like I use her character as a girl I meet in New Orleans, you know, and it's about like our life, and it's kind of like almost that Nicolas Cage movie, Leaving Las Vegas. You know, she ends up dying, and then like, but she's obsessed with Elvis, you know, so she eats like all those peanut butter and jelly, like those sandwiches that he eats, but he's allergic to them, you know? So at the end, the guy just basically, you know, he like, because she dies, he kills himself by eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but when he's choking, he's dying, he thinks it's the best screenplay ever, you know?
How long have you been writing it?
4 years on and off.
Sure.
Just like with handwritten notes in my phone and then like typing it out and stuff. You know, and it's hard to write a book because it's like you want it to be really good, but at the same time you're writing it for yourself. At the same time, I just hope people are interested in like the glimpses that I'm gonna give them in my life, you know? Because there was a moment in my life where I didn't want to write any B movies, even though I was offered them, and it's like a good paycheck. But I just want to write what I want to write now, and that's it, you know? I want to do what I want to do. So it's like kind of like a big chance of like in life of being like, hey, I could do things for paycheck for money wise, or you could just do things that you want to do, you know, and hopefully it pays off, you know what I mean? But at least I'll be happy, and at least I'll be putting out the things that I want to do, you know, into the world. So that's what I'm doing.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it for now, yeah, you know. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.